upstairs medical college too?
Which therapist you need? Therapy Thursday with Demesman and Dover Law Firm, your accident attorneys. Now on Wild 94.1.
I understand therapy. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Yeah, Therapy Thursday is here. We got the brilliance in the room. I mean, we got Meredith MD in here.
Why, hello.
We got my man, Rich, the emotional support animal.
Yeah, I do cuddles too.
He cuddles with you. We got Orlando BGYN, just in case it goes that route too. Any question that you give us, we're going to give you a brilliant answer. It might not be a right answer, but it's going to feel brilliant to us. All right? 888-429-0941 is our number. If there's anything on your mind, we have therapists here that can help you walk through it, because conversation is key when we out here in this mental health world. What we got?
Out of the 727, I have a 6-year-old and a 9-month-old. I run a business and do all the chores in the house, dinner, laundry, cleaning, dogs, etc. But my husband wants more from me. Some days the house isn't 100% clean, but dinner is done, and he makes me feel like I don't do anything. It makes me feel like crap. He works Monday through Friday, 12 hours a day, and says he can do a better job than me.
Wow. Totally.
Your husband needs to learn better communication.
Totally disrespectful.
That he needs to learn how to say what he's thinking without making it like sound that way.
Putting
that
it
sounds
down.
that sounds nasty.
Ugh.
Like, you can be constructive.
Yeah.
But how you say things can probably make it a little bit more better received. You might be losing the essence of it because you're saying it kind of nasty. Don't overplay. Like, everybody knows a hard work, like 12-hour workday is a hard thing, but also what she's referring to on that whole list of stuff that she's responsible for is hard too.
Yeah, especially with 2 babies.
Yeah, put some respect on her name. Like, there's a partnership there, and maybe help her out a little bit, and if you're talking to him about his work day and he's like, yo, I work 12 hours, have a conversation with him and explain what it is that you do. And then sit there and kind of like have some common ground. Y'all love each other for a reason, so talk to each other like you love each other.
And you get a little bit of a break. It sounds like you actually get to leave work. I mean, she's still there.
Yeah.
So hers is 24/7. Out of the 727, last night my boyfriend of 3 years told me he wasn't going to travel with me to Italy after all. We have been on a break for about a week, and I thought this might be what we need for our reconnection, but he says it's making him feel icky. We have been talking about this for an entire year and planning it for months and months and months. Should I go by myself or should I just cancel everything?
Ooh. Going to Italy by yourself?
You can.
That sounds like one of them Liam Neeson movies. You got to call your daddy and like, hey, there's a certain set of skills you got. Can you come get me?
Yeah. They were on a break for a week, they said?
Yeah, they took a break to see if there was going to be a reconnection, and then now he just totally canceled the entire trip.
Yeah, you kind of got to take this as if you guys aren't going to get back together. Like, I'm sorry to say that, but...
But you would go by yourself, wouldn't you?
100%. I would go by myself.
Go on the trip.
Nah, but you one of them dudes that be in the hostels and all of that other stuff. It's like, yo, this is a woman. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't be riding internationally by yourself, especially during, like, wartime. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be bouncing from country to country by yourself.
Yeah, but there are ways that you could go and be safe in Italy, or
by
take
yourself?
take somebody else. Go with a family member, a best friend. Go with somebody that actually wants to go with you.
That's expensive.
But if
But
if he's canceling this trip, it's probably because he has plans to probably cancel everything else, including the relationship.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely a wrap. But I'm just saying, don't go by yourself. Find somebody to go with you.
But go by yourself. Go live your life, girl. You'll have a good time. Be safe. Look up all your stuff. Make sure that you'll be in good locations. Be self-aware. But this could be a life-changing experience in a positive way.
Hey, if you got any questions, 888-429-0941 out of the 904. It says, I've been okay, I'm not going to say that. I've been hooking up. Not hidden. I've been hooking up with somebody for 2 months now. It's getting kind of serious where I'm in my feelings. We finally did the divity.
2 months. Okay.
2 months. Man,
Yeah,
wait
that's
2
good.
months.
That's good.
We finally did the divity, and she has her deceased ex-boyfriend tattooed on her lower back. She says it's a tribute and nothing more. I shouldn't put anything into it, but I'm feeling some type of way. How do I move forward with this name on it? Do I say it needs to change before we move forward, or do I need to wait until we have a bigger relationship, but it's got to go?
So it's not just the name, like the dude's looking at you while you're looking
I
at them.
assumed it was the name.
Just the name.
Okay, so like his
it
face.
said tattooed name, so.
Okay, all right. That's
The
weird.
ex-boyfriend tattooed name on the lower back.
You can't tell me what to do with my body after 2 months of being together. I mean, it's just
How long?
a name.
How long
It's
does
just
it
a
take
name.
though? Because we got to get this done.
Yeah, I mean, maybe when we're in a committed relationship, and then a year later after that, I got to know you like you.
I
and
gotta stare at Rome.
That's not my problem.
I gotta stare at Roman Rome. I gotta stare at that name.
Use it as a target.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Claim what's yours, okay?
Nah,
You're
honestly,
a dirty girl, boy.
Honestly, you can't say anything. You really can't say anything unless, and even still, unless that's your wife, and even still, it's her body. What she wants to do with it is up to her. But the only time that you can do something is if you're married.
Superman that
It's still okay. Wait a minute. Wait, you saying that it's her body, but now when I get married, it's not her body anymore?
No, I'm just saying if you really do want to say something about it, don't say it while you're the boyfriend. If you want to say something, you got to wait till you're the husband to say something. And even then, it's not right.
That argument it doesn't work because most people are like, you knew I had this when you met. I've heard that before. You knew this what it was when you married me. So that's going to be headed for failure right there. You got to say something about it now. Be honest. Say, hey, listen, I know you don't have anything going on and it's a tribute, but is there another way? Can we plant a tree? Can we do something? Can we do something for him? You know, like I'll pour out a little liquor for him or whatever, but we need to get that removed.
Let's do a scholarship in
because
his name.
It's hard to stay focused back here when I'm looking at Romy Rome. That's all I'm saying, all right? 888-429-0941, part 2 on the other side. All right, Freak Show, Wild 94.1. I had my button stopped over there.
Yeah.
All right, with part 2, we got it going on here.
And yes, I am nasty. That's okay.
No, listen, people are writing in talking about, hey, Italy ain't no third world country.
Well,
You know, she'll be fine. She wants to go over there and get me a hot Italian, and that means that she got to go by herself. Listen, I'm saying y'all need to move in pairs. Just be smart. You don't know who's moving around out there. I mean, there's unrest. If there's unrest anywhere, I'm talking about, hey, off your block, you should have somebody with you.
yeah.
Out of the 727, I have my ex's nickname on my back, and I'll be damned if anybody's going to tell me to take it off.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to wait a long time.
I don't know what y'all thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Certain stuff is counterproductive. I mean, if I'm back there doing business.
The guy passed away.
I
It's
get
just
it.
his name.
Let us tribute. Let us plant a tree.
No.
Do a scholarship like Rich said.
Oh
like,
my
you know
gosh.
what I mean?
All
Come
right.
on. Anyway, out of the 941, my baby daddy has always burned. I've known that, but now that he got his legal card, he thinks he got the right to take my son to pick up his orders, and I feel some type of way about my baby who is 2 years old being in a weed dispensary once a week.
Oh.
Can you tell me if I'm tripping or if this is something that is now the new way? It's not the new way. I mean, it's not as egregious as it used to be because it's legal. If you can go buy a pack of cigarettes with your kid,
Right. What's
you
the
can go
difference?
pick up your medicine with a kid. However, you are
It's your baby, though.
you are normalizing something that jury is still out on if it needs to be normalized.
As somebody who supports the green, I'm going to say that this is wrong to be having your child go and pick that up, especially if the other parent isn't okay with them doing it. So I think this is just a conversation. You letting him know, hey, this is not right. This is my baby. I don't want him doing it, and you better go pick that up yourself.
Let me ask you this though: if you got somebody who has a kid and they're going to pick it up, because I guess it's a co-parenting situation. They said baby daddy. So if he got the baby's in the baby seat, he's going to pick it up. Not a baby seat, but whatever it is. 2-year-old.
Right.
Said 2-year-old. So 2-year-old can't kick it in the car by themselves.
No.
So what do you do with the 2-year-old if it's like me and you and I got to go pick up the burnery?
Don't pick it up. You wait till.
But it's my medicine.
No, you wait till somebody else can pick it up for you,
But
or
the
you
doctor
wait till
say,
the
I
next
need
day.
this
They have
medicine.
delivery services.
No, they got delivery service. Put that
Who
in a
delivered? I didn't know
Uber
that.
packages. You could Uber packages. What you could do is you get Uber to go over there and pick it up for you to drop it off to you.
I'm not going to trip if it's one time. If it's like an emergency or
She
something.
said once a week.
Yeah, that's too much. Don't have my kid in there all the time. I mean, Exactly. It's my baby.
Kids do not belong in dispensaries.
Yeah.
That's it, plain and simple.
Out of the 727, the other day our internet wasn't working, so we called the provider, and my boyfriend gave the lady a fake name. It's his real first name, but a fake last name I have never heard him use before. I was thrown off by it, but I thought maybe he was just trying to be funny. Well, when the lady had no luck pulling up the account, I told him it's because you gave her a fake name, and he said, no, I didn't. That's what my name is under the account, but she couldn't find it at all. Am I overreacting in thinking that the fake name situation is a little bit more out there than it should be?
It didn't work, though.
Right. Well, I think maybe she's assuming he has maybe some other bills and like Tico bills or something like that you can use.
And other people's name?
Right, exactly.
Oh, I mean,
or identity issues.
No, I mean, there are people out there who have certain stuff that they maybe, like they had some sort of outstanding balance or whatever when they first set it up.
Yes.
So you use it under somebody else's name or whatever. I mean, but you shouldn't be forgetting whose name it's under. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Because they could turn you in.
His reply is, it's none of my business. That's what she said at the end.
Okay, well.
That's a red flag.
In a sister girl thing,
right.
It's a red flag.
Yeah.
In a therapist space, that ain't really somebody that you see a future with if that's how they communicate. He can get better, but right now, the way you communicating with, it's not your business, especially, does she live there?
I don't know.
Okay, listen, if you can't be honest with the person that you love, then that probably is not the person for you. Like I said, they can get better, but right now, they ain't too much of a future if the answer is just mind your business. If that's, if you got a real question like this making you look a little sketch and they don't offer any kind of help, then that they don't care about how you see them. So that tells you a lot about the relationship you're in.
Yeah. Very true. At least that's how it looks. Don't overlook it.
All right, out of the 813. Good morning. My husband and I work at a well-known corporate company. We both have been there for 10 years. There have been many changes throughout the years. However, within the last 2 years, the most changes have happened. The most recent one is what really seemed to affect the morale of each store is that the sales position, so we used to ups and downs. As a woman in the sales industry, is it hard for me to overcome how I'm treated different from the male associates?
Ooh.
I've been experiencing condescending tones and inappropriate comments, etc. How do I overcome or look past this?
Well, I mean, it's common in all industries, especially sales, I would say. You do not deserve to be treated differently or looked at differently. You should be treated as everybody else that you're working with as your peers. If it's a continuous issue, I mean, that's what your boss is for. You got to sit down, closed door, and be like, hey, this is happening. I mean, I wouldn't go do HR issue. I would definitely sit down with your boss and talk to them about what is factual and not how you're feeling, what is actually going on at your job.
You have options. You don't want to end up like, in an HR situation, but that is something that if you tell your manager first and they don't fix it or speak to it or address it, then you can go higher. But go to your superior first and say, hey, if you're loving the job, like if you don't want to bust everything up, go to your boss and say, hey man, this is what's happening. I wanted to fill you in because I know this doesn't represent what we do here. And then let them, get involved in it. They might be able to fix it for you or whatever. But there always has been a pecking order in sort of male dominated spaces, and that doesn't make it right. But start with your superior, and then if it has to go higher, you can go higher.
That's what they're
Work it
there
up
for.
the chain.
Before we get done, the 813 says this message, which I wanted to say out loud. Orlando, stop telling women that they can't travel alone. Women are able-bodied humans, too, as long as they are alert and vigilant.
Well,
So I just wanted to read that out loud.
that you were trying to be protective because there's a lot of crazy people out there. It was coming from a loving situation. It wasn't you telling them they're not allowed to do it.
I wasn't telling anybody they're not allowed to do it. And I wasn't just being about ladies. I'm afraid to travel internationally by myself.
Right? We've been talking about going
and
like Puerto
I'm a
Rico,
big old
Colombia.
man.
Yeah.
I'm not going nowhere by myself. I went to LA by myself.
Yeah.
But I ain't even want to do that. Like I honestly, I don't think anybody should be leaving the country internationally by themselves, because especially if you go into a place that you don't speak the language, or there's some sort of disconnect.
Sure.
I know people who travel alone. I've worked with Davi for over a decade. Davi will go anywhere by himself because he's an Avenger. I'm not trying to go out there and meet people and they're like, oh, you want a really good meal? Come, let me take you in the real city.
No.
That's where the good food's
sorry,
at.
pumping. I'm eating on the boat. I'm not going off with you in some strange land.
Right.
And I mean, that's not about women with me. That's about my own fear about being in fish out of water situations.
Sure.
I need to have somebody who's a local there with me saying, oh, dog, you want to have a lit time? We going here. All right, well, then let's go. But if I'm by myself, you ain't gonna find me over the border. That's just what it is.
Or
I'm
out of
sorry.
Tampa, really.
I mean, for real. I mess around, don't even go to Lutz that much by myself.
Orlando and the Freak Show.
All right, it's a Rap Therapy Thursday. We got your classic kickoff on the way. You know how we do at 9. We start your day with them bangers. So let's go.